I was about to spend nearly £2,000 on flights and a car to America. And I nearly just paid it, but instead I changed one thing and knocked £400 off instantly, and in the end I booked the whole trip for $550 each, that's £1,100. And this isn't some crazy loophole or mistake fare, it's just me trying to get to Canada and the US for 2 weeks with a car and a proper luggage allowance. And here's exactly what I did, step by step. Now this trip isn't just a holiday. My eldest Book is helping their best friend move house from Orillia to Toronto, and Book's volunteered me as a driver. And I've basically turned that into a 2-week North American trip. A couple of days helping out, then I've got about 10 days to just explore. No real plan, just ideas. And that gave me a bit of a dilemma. How do I make this affordable, comfortable, and actually practical for 2 weeks? Because those three don't necessarily go together. Now the last time I did something like this, I managed to get flights for £200 return with Play Airlines, RIP Play, I'm afraid they went bust last year. Via Reykjavik, very quirky, very cheap, but also tight baggage allowance, tight leg room, and let's be honest, not exactly comfortable. If you've ever flown an A320 across the Atlantic, you'll know exactly what I mean. So flights were coming in at between 430 and 500. Bear in mind we were pinned to certain dates, and that sounds decent, but it was still only a cabin bag, a personal item, and that's it. And I'm thinking, 2 weeks in North America with basically a backpack? No thanks. So I thought, fine, I'll just build it myself properly. Flights with proper baggage, car hire on top. Car hire alone was coming in at about £400 for 2 weeks, and not always with big companies I'd actually heard of, so there's trust issues there. So suddenly, flights and car, £1,400 for something that was still fairly basic, and to be honest, I was struggling to get that without sharing a suitcase with Book, which was far from ideal seeing as we were going to be separate for a lot of the trip. And I just remember thinking, there is no way this is the best I can do. I mean, I run a YouTube travel channel giving people advice, I'm sure I can do better. So then I looked at FlyDrive package, and you know what happens when travel companies give something a nice name? Suddenly the price goes up, and we're looking at about £2,000. But you do get a hotel for your first night, hotel for your last night, and some discounts on expensive chains. Now, you know my relationship with expensive chains, I don't do them. Or if I do, I'm getting them last minute. And half of it was stuff I didn't need, I just wanted flights and a car. And then I tried my old favourite Expedia. And to be fair, it looked promising at first, but you have to pay in full up front. Prices creep up as soon as you're selecting an option that has decent baggage allowance and a bit less flexibility. And once I added everything I actually wanted, we were still looking at about £1,500 each. At that point, I'm thinking, how is this getting worse the more I try to do it properly? But to be fair, that wasn't a bad price. So I thought, right, let's take my own advice. Let's look at the big boys. So I checked out British Airways packages. Now, I'm not a big fan of packages, however, straight away you were getting a proper baggage allowance, that's a personal item, cabin bag, and a 23-kilo suitcase each. Decent airline, there are people who say they're not premium, but compared to the ones I normally fly, they're premium. Avis car hire, I've used them before and I like the service. Everything bundled properly. And the price, about £1,500 for the two of us. Which, to be fair, considering the fact that it was a more premium airline, was already better than everything else. But I still had that feeling, there's got to be some way I can shave a bit off here. So I'm going through checkout and I see something I'd normally ignore because I'm pretty good at getting the best price, the best day to fly. Change flights. So I thought, let's see. Yeah, and I thought, all right, go on then, let's see. And that's where it got interesting. There was an option to fly via Dublin, still on a BA ticket, but with Aer Lingus. Same day, same arrival time, about 4 PM in Toronto, which is a good time to arrive. The only difference, it was a 1-hour hop to Dublin first. The saving, £400. Yeah, I'm going to be up for that. So just by adding a short flight to Dublin, £1,500 becomes £1,100, £400 gone. At that point, the car hire is basically free. And the best bit, you're still flying long haul on a proper aircraft. Boeing 787, decent seats, decent experience. The only real pain is starting your journey about 90 minutes earlier, and the first hour is liable to be on an A320, which if it's only an hour is quite bearable. But to be honest, 90 minutes of my time for £400, I'll take that all day long. And here's where it gets even better. Because it's booked as a proper package, I can actually pick up the phone and speak to a person. In fact, in this case, I ended up speaking to two. Now, Book is autistic and sometimes gets anxiety about seating, and I get anxiety about paying the extra to sit next to each other. Now, normally airlines charge for that, but I called them up and they sorted it. I wasn't sure whether it would qualify as special assistance, that's why I picked up the phone. Even covering the Aer Lingus leg. Try doing that with a budget airline. And in fact, on the way back, because we've got direct flight on the way back, we've got those two seats at the back where it narrows, where there's only just the two of you. That is normally a premium rate, but they were very nice on the phone. So where does that leave us? 2 weeks in North America, proper airline, proper baggage, proper hire car, seats already covered for £550 each. And honestly, I can't help thinking I'm starting to get good at this. And the real test, I'm about to find out if this actually works on the ground. So I'll be travelling across Canada and US over the next couple of weeks. So if you want to see how far this kind of budget actually stretches, stick around because I'm putting it to the test. Now there's one part of this trip I'm not entirely sure about. After the first couple of days I'm on my own. And I'll be honest, I don't normally do solo travel. So part of me is thinking this is going to be amazing. And part of me is thinking I might just get a few days in and think, what the hell am I doing? But that's kind of the point. If this works, it could be one of the best trips I've ever done. If it doesn't, you'll see that as well. Either way, we're about to find out. But it'll be really boring if we just hand our passports over and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in America.
We're in America. What's it like to be in America, Dad?
It's goddamn fine.
That was a very poor accent.
It was, wasn't it?